I think Lucy Connolly is a political prisoner, basically. I think that she is suffering a longer sentence. I don't think she should have any sentence at all.
The first Labour MP, Mary Glindon, is the first in her party to break ranks and call the sentence for Connolly unduly harsh.
And again, an awful lot of the stuff that we were told when the case went to court, I mean, the reporting, there were other racist tweets. No, there weren't. A lot of it was complete lies.
The Lucy Connolly outrage has officially gone global, and Keir Starmer is facing the political firestorm of his career. What began as a domestic scandal in Britain has exploded into an international controversy, with media outlets from Washington to Berlin calling out the Labour leader for what many see as deliberate evasion, hypocrisy, and moral cowardice. Starmer, once seen as a steadying figure in British politics, is now being dragged under by a scandal that refuses to fade. And no matter how carefully he tries to sidestep the issue, the world is watching and demanding answers. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favour. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video.
Reduce the length of the sentence to 31 months, 2.5 years, basically, that Lucy Connolly got for a tweet that she wrote on the day.
Sit there, Lucy Connolly never thought for 1 second when she wrote that she was subjected to the same laws as The Times, The Sun, HarperCollins.
At the centre of the storm is Lucy Connolly, a former Labour Party staffer whose shocking revelations have triggered an avalanche of political scrutiny. Connolly alleged that she was pressured into silence after reporting misconduct by a senior party official, an official with direct ties to Starmer's inner circle. According to leaked emails and internal memos, her complaints were not only ignored, but buried by the party's legal team, under the guise of protecting the party's reputation. What followed was a string of backroom meetings, NDAs and strategic denials aimed at sweeping her allegations under the rug.
She ended it with, if that makes me racist, so be it. Well, courts decided it did. Her own solicitor advised her, I think very unwisely, to plead.
You know, we never used to go around rounding up people in the Rose and Crown because they'd said something a little bit off, but that's where we are today.
But Lucy didn't stay silent. She refused to sign the non-disclosure agreement and went public with her story. That decision has changed everything. In a damning televised interview that aired last week, Connolly recounted the pressure, the threats, and the isolation she faced, not just from the accused, but from the very people who claim to stand for justice and transparency.
Guilty to inciting racial hatred. She got a massive sentence, far more actually than...
Things like the Connolly tweet was sort of the equivalence of somebody shouting in a pub. It's something I say almost daily on this programme.
Her voice cracked as she described being treated like a problem, not a victim. I expected support, she said. What I got was betrayal. Her interview sent shockwaves through the UK political landscape. Labour MPs scrambled to distance themselves, while Tory opponents wasted no time capitalising on the scandal. But what caught Starmer completely off guard was the international reaction. Within 48 hours, the Connolly interview was picked up by CNN, Deutsche Welle, Al Jazeera, and Le Monde. Editorials questioned whether Labour could be trusted to lead if it couldn't handle allegations of misconduct within its own ranks. Human rights organisations have now joined the chorus, accusing the party of silencing whistleblowers and perpetuating a toxic political culture behind closed doors. The timing could not be worse. With elections looming and Labour polling well, the Connolly scandal has cracked the party's polished image wide open.
And people who don't commit violent crime shouldn't be behind bars. Well, it wasn't a violent crime, and therefore she shouldn't be behind bars. She's a mother, a carer, a childminder.
I mean, I think it's got worse under Keir Starmer. Of course, non-crime hate incidents were brought in by the Conservatives. We've got to confess that.
And again, an awful lot of the stuff that we were told when the case went to court, I mean, the reporting, there were other racist tweets. No, there weren't. A lot of it was complete lies.
Starmer, who built his leadership around integrity, legal fairness, and moral accountability, is now facing accusations that he knew more than he let on and chose political survival over principle. Every press conference he attends is now dominated by one question: what did you know, and when did you know it? To make matters worse, a second whistleblower has stepped forward anonymously, claiming that Lucy Connolly's case was not unique, and that senior leadership had a pattern of protecting insiders. This development has only intensified public anger, fueling protests outside Labour Party offices and flooding social media with the hashtag number Justice for Lucy. Petitions calling for an independent inquiry have already crossed 600,000 signatures, and several Labour MPs are now privately urging Starmer to launch an internal investigation before one is forced upon him. Despite the rising pressure, Starmer's responses have been vague and robotic. His carefully scripted public statements cite ongoing legal considerations and urge the public to wait for the facts. But that line is wearing thin. Voters are not only questioning Starmer's leadership, they're questioning the soul of the Labour Party itself. If this is how whistleblowers are treated under a Labour government in waiting, critics ask, what kind of accountability can the public expect once they're actually in power? International watchdog groups are now stepping in. Transparency International has called on the Labour Party to release internal communications related to the case. Meanwhile, Amnesty UK has urged an independent panel.
I think Lucy Connolly is a political prisoner, basically. I think that she is suffering a longer sentence. I don't think she should have any sentence at all.
The first Labour MP, Mary Glindon, is the first in her party to break ranks and call the sentence for Connolly unduly harsh.
To investigate whether Connolly's rights were violated under whistleblower protection laws. These calls are turning the Connolly case into a benchmark for international political ethics, and Starmer is failing the test in real time. The scandal has even drawn comment from foreign politicians. In the United States, progressive Democrats have voiced concern about Connolly's treatment, warning that silencing truth-tellers is the first step toward democratic decay. In the EU, members of the European Parliament are demanding clarity before resuming any collaborative planning with Labour's shadow cabinet. What was once a local issue has metastasised into a full-scale, global credibility crisis. Starmer's inner circle is reportedly in panic mode. Internal memos leaked to The Guardian show a frantic communication strategy in play, one that includes rapid response teams, controlled talking points, and pressure on MPs not to engage emotionally with the issue in public forums. But political analysts are warning that containment is no longer possible. This isn't just a scandal, it's a global moment of reckoning, one analyst put it. If Starmer continues to dodge, he won't just lose credibility, he'll lose control. Lucy Connolly's name is now etched into the global political discourse. Her courage in going public has inspired a wave of support and ignited questions about power, silence, and accountability in democratic institutions. As for Starmer, every day he avoids a transparent reckoning only fuels the narrative that he's no different from the politicians he once promised to hold accountable.